We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Icey Railway podcast. And most importantly, I am your host, the Ice Dragon, Rayron VR, and welcome to the mythical Railway. All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Again, I am your host, the Ice Dragon, Rayron VR. Hopefully everyone had a good week. I tell you what, it's been another busy week, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to stream today because we had some nasty storms come through, and I just wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream, because then power would be knocked out and all the good things. Because normally when we have a hailstorm pop through, typically it knocks out our power and our internet as well. So, well, the storms have passed, and I think we're in the clear. And we can go ahead and do this stream. This is episode 13 of the Icey Railway podcast. And once again, I got to thank all of you wonderful folks out there. This channel has definitely been blowing up recently, and especially with the last VOD of episode 12. Great reception there. It's definitely broke a lot of records for me. And again, it's all thanks to you guys. You guys break all sorts of records on this channel, so it is awesome and amazing to see. Also, we got Train Man, and then we got some other lurkers. Again, welcome everyone. Feel free to lurk. I try not to de-lurk our lurkers, because you know, sometimes you just gotta sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So don't feel any obligation to chat. Again, I want this to have you guys to have fun and enjoy what I do here. So, but man, it has been interesting to say the least. And I tell you what, let's start off with some news. So I kind of released a video like literally an hour before the stream started, because it was kind of trending everywhere of the forums that I typically follow, of all the YouTube channels that I watch. And unfortunately, DigiKeys, oh my goodness, oh man, I couldn't believe it. DigiKeys went bankrupt. Is filing for bankruptcy. It's kind of crazy. So we'll talk about that here first really quickly. But yeah, I kind of did a video on it, and I just kind of briefly want to touch up on it. So man, what a start. All right, let's get this all situated here. So across many forums, it looks like it's becoming official that DigiKeys has filed for bankruptcy as of April 18, 2023. Again, kind of late breaking, but you know, it was definitely breaking news on this channel because I haven't talked about it, because this is definitely big news that's going to impact the content that I do on this channel. And then if we can go here, I'm hoping we can translate the page. Yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can translate here. So this is the official, I guess, Dutch bankruptcy filing. So yeah, so we got the Chamber of Commerce number here, business address. So that, if you guys look, that address actually matches when we go to DigiKeys here. Let's go to their website. So a couple more things that I wish I could have added to the video. we're gonna go to the DigiKey's main website, and there's a few little things to note here. So look at this. So here's the address, and look, it is in the Netherlands. Because I originally thought when I posted the Icey news, I thought that only the Netherlands subsector of the company was going for bankruptcy, and they'll still keep the UK distribution. But it looks like their main headquarters is in fact in the Netherlands. So you can see the address here. And if we go back here, sure enough, it looks like those two addresses 100% match. So yeah, so we'll see how this is going to be handled. Does that mean the end of DigiKeys? Are they going to stop making all their products? I don't know. It's like there's still a lot more. Bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean the company's going to be gone, but bankruptcy also is different from country to country. So there's going to be a lot more news about this, and this is really sad because, like I said, this was going to be a big part of the end, especially in my N scale series, because we were going to see how far we can take DigiKeys, because I do like what they do over there. And unfortunately, yeah, it's not looking good for the home team. And then something else that kind of drawed my attention when you do DigiKeys on Google, look at this over here to the right. Permanently closed. Permanently closed. Wow. Again, I'll take this with a grain of salt, but again, more evidence to suggest that I think we just lost DigiKeys as a main way of command and control for N-Scale, for HO, and so forth. So, yeah, that completely came out of left field. I was not expected to see this, but it's like all the evidence that we've got right now has confirmed they filed for bankruptcy. I don't know if we will lose that company, but oh man, it definitely came out of left field. Hello, BCF Parts. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. I'm still kind of doing some edits here, but yeah, this was. I'm not like this is a big kick in the nuts a little bit for the industry. At least for those who are very techie, like myself, when it comes to the hobby. This was really, really bad. Yeah, you heard the news as well. Yeah, and I'm happy that I went with DigiKeys. I mean, not DigiKeys, Digitrax, because again, it's one of the more stable companies. Hopefully, anyways, you know, we'll throw the dice at this point to see if it continues to be stable. But yeah, definitely sad. Very, very sad. And it's like, hey, Train Man, welcome as well. So we'll see where this goes. And like I said, I kind of made the video about this, and you know, in that video I said that, you know what, because of this bankruptcy, we just cannot financially risk going into DigiKeys anymore on this channel. And so we're gonna go into NCE for N-Scale, so that way I can actually give you guys a fair knowledge base when it comes to both NCE and Digitrax, kind of the more popular brands when it comes to off-roading clubs. I also use a little bit of Easy DCC at Samra, that club I'm with, and to be honest, I don't like Easy DCC. It's definitely great to use as for beginners, but if you want to do stuff more advanced, it's a little bit difficult. But I haven't messed with MRC much. I heard good things about it, but yeah, that's where we're at. So Digitrax for HO, and then NCE for N-Scale when we get our T-Track modular setup going. So yes, hello. Yeah, so definitely sad. Definitely caught me off guard. So darn, that's so sad. It's simple, yeah. Yeah, and sometimes simple is the way to go. Because you know, that we talk about rabbit holes when it comes to the electronics of HO model railroading, and you can get pretty deep and pretty complicated really quick. Like I always say, if you're gonna get into Digitrax, you pretty much need a rocket degree or electrical engineering degree to fully understand it. So, yeah, I don't know, So. Okay, John, aka Popa John. Is that how you want to? Is that how you say your new name? I know you kind of. Yeah, let's make this a little bit bigger. There we go. How you doing, good sir? Yeah, MRC is simple. Fair enough. It's just like Easy DCC. Easy DCC is really simple as well. It's starting to. I've been finding issues with Easy DCC with the newer decoders, so we'll see how that goes. But anything that's run on my layout runs just fine because it's all modern day Digitrax. Because it's all being commanded by a DCS 52. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to. Oh, just Papa John? Okay, just like the pizza chain. Nice. Papa John. Papa John. Sounds good. All right. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. So, today I kind of want to showcase the cleaning train. And then, there's been a lot of requests for the big blow turbine to run along with the Missouri Pacific Colorado Eagle. So those are going to be kind of the spotlight trains that we'll do today. I've got the camera train all set up, but again, I kind of want to talk about this clean train a little bit because I've got to clean out some of the parts for it, and then hopefully it'll take about 5-10 minutes, nothing too crazy, hopefully, and then we'll get on the track behind me over on Phoenix Point. Let me go ahead and bring up that camera real quick. Phoenix Point. You can barely see it, but Phoenix Point has 3 Mopac units. You can probably see it behind me, but we've got 2 GB8-2 and GB30. Oh my goodness. GP38-2 and GP38, and then a switch or SW1500 right there. You just had it spelled differently? Okay. Put a little flavor to it. Yeah, I like it. Papa John trains. That's pretty cool. So that's kind of the plan for right now. We'll get the cleaning train up and going. I'll kind of service it a little bit so you guys can see a little bit behind that. And then we'll run the big blow turbine, talk about some updates to this layout. And then we'll have some fun running trains. So with that, let's go ahead and go over to the brand new camera that I got set up. And finally have the workbench camera set up. I had this camera up for a while, just never really connected together and, get the scene all set up. And so I'm going to transition everything over here to the workbench. So give me a hot minute. Bring up chat here so I can see you guys on this side. Okay, bring this up. All right, so this is basically for the most part. Do I have that paused? What's going on here? All right, so this is basically all the components of the cleaning train. And so let me kind of explain how this is set up. So we got our basically our vacuum car here, and this vacuum car does exactly what it's supposed to do. It has basically a motor, a DCC motor. It comes DCC ready. I've got a Digitrax decoder in here. And this allows basically the suction power to put all the dust into here as far as the vacuum. So this is basically the very beginning of the train. So that way it picks up all that loose dust, the particles, the crap that's all in the track, broken couplers and so forth. I've got a few amount of springs in here as well from time to time. And, this basically picks up all that loose debris. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the cart or on the track, I should say, because... It doesn't need to be serviced. I kind of cleaned it all out. Basically, all the dust and stuff will come into here, and then you just dust it all out into, or empty it into the trash can. And then you'll take basically this component out and clean all the dust off of it. And you see the motors right there. And that's basically the vacuum cleaner. So I'll put that back in, but everything looks good. And I got a few little dust bunnies in here, but so yeah, I'll go ahead and put this on the track. All right, so the next thing we've got, this is, I'll talk about these guys actually a little bit in a second. So again, the vacuum car goes first. Then we got our CMX cleaning car. We've got the, what's the name of this stupid thing? Centerline Products Rail Cleaner. So basically a cleaner roller. Okay, give me 1 second, train man. I actually have to go get the box because I can't honestly remember the name of it. When I find the box, I'll let you know. I just cannot remember for the life of me where I put the box, because where I thought I put the box, I can't find it now. So I believe I got that from Yankee Dabbler. You can just research a vacuum car. It's not the Atlas one. It's the one I think that comes from Europe. I just, for the life of me, can't find the box. And the name really escapes me right now. It's basically an MOW. I think it's a Dupar or Dupal, D-O-P-A-L. I think is the name of the company. So I think that's the name of it. But again, don't quote me. I can't find the box. But anywho. Let's see. So you got a roller without a roller. Interesting. All right. So yeah, this is the CMX cleaning machine. This holds the alcohol or whatever liquid that you want to use. Yeah, this is the roller. And I do have the roller here. See if that camera picks it up. But yeah, it's got the little padding on it. And then, so these other cars, these 3 cars are just pad scraping cars. Your typical so-called quote-unquote commercial cleaning cars, but it doesn't do the full job. That's why this whole cleaning train is supposed to do the full job. And so these 3 are typically at the end of the train. And then along with, we've got an old school IHC cleaning caboose. Just kind of picks up the last residue. So we're going to end up replacing that today. And then under this guy, we've got kind of the hanging monkeys, quote unquote, cleaning pads here. So I'll end up replacing those as well. And so kind of the whole purpose of this train is that at the very beginning, I'll have to take a look at it, BCF. So the NMR just released. All right, put this over here. There we go. Very nice. I'll have to take a look at it. So this, again, when it comes to track cleaning, this is one of those things that is very subjective. Again, it's just like, you know, should I go with Digitrax? Should I go with NCE? Should I go with, you know, whatever type of decoder? What I always say is experiment with the type of cleaning that you want to do. And, you know, when it comes to your railway, the rails is going to be dependent on your the climate of your room. Now, for me, since I'm kind of on the second level, it's going to be a lot of dust. It does have the potential. I'm in a humid climate with Texas. It can also be very dry. So again, that can create a lot of dust. It also depends on what type of wheels you have. If you have like the very old plastic wheels, it'll definitely leave a lot of residue on your tracks. And when I was actually looking at the tracks the other day, there was a lot of really bad black spots on the track. So because I do run a lot of plastic wheels, I'm slowly converting them to metal, because metal does help reduce the amount of just junk in general on the track. So again, take this very subjectively with a grain of salt when it comes to cleaning your tracks. Again, I'm not here telling you what is the best way. Again, do your own research. This is just something that works for my railroad. It may not necessarily work for you. So again, just take everything I say with a grain of salt when it comes to this, and we'll just take it from there. So these particular 3 here will go at the very end of my train, because they're basically the final scrubbers of the rails. And then this guy right here will pick up the last remaining bits from the track. So I want to set those aside, because I'll put them on a little bit later. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to service these 4 cars. We'll get them onto the track, and you'll see it run for a little bit, and then we'll run the big blow. So I'm going to try not to take too much time on this, and then we'll just go from there. So I'll leave the CMX for last, I believe. When it comes to the roller, as you can see, I'll explain a little bit more when the train is actually running, how this whole thing works. But the whole design of the roller is that after you put the liquid down on the track from the CMX, the roller is then applying a little bit of pressure to the track to pick up any wet residue from the alcohol, and this is supposed to pick up all that alcohol that's left on the track, while the other padded cars basically scrub that track, and then the caboose picks up any last remaining alcohol, residue, and so forth. So the whole train is like a assembly line, essentially. Well, lack of a better phrase, when it comes to cleaning the track. And so we'll go ahead and put this roller away, because it doesn't have to be replaced. Okay, so the easier one here. So this is my cattle car. It basically has little horses going back and forth. So this is a nice little animated feature to bring some life to this cleaning train. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going ahead and replace these guys, because they've seen better days. And what's cool about these pads is that you can basically make any type of freight car into a cleaning car. Quote unquote cleaning car. Again, cleaning is relative. This basically just, the way this moves, when you see it move on the track, what's pretty cool is that, I don't know if I can simulate it here, but you can kind of see how there's actually a forward and backward motion of these monkey cleaners. And it basically mimics a human hand scrubbing on the track. And that goes for both directions when you're going back and forth. So I actually like using this on the track, because again, that's just another physics style to actually clean the track, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let me make sure I'm getting this on camera. Cool. So again, we're just gonna replace these, and then we're gonna put some fresh new ones on. And then that's basically it when it comes to this cleaning car. Just like that. And we'll set that one aside. Alright, now for these other ones, it's all about replacing the pad here. So basically what I need to do here is I'm just going to pop off the trucks. Yeah, they're from Woodland Scenics. Yeah, I forgot to mention they're the Woodland Scenics monkey cleaners. I think is the name of them. And I think they come in like in a pack of 4. So, and so we're gonna go ahead and take these trucks off. They just snap right off. And then we're gonna try to squeeze these out here. Awesome. So this one's a little bit of a booger because you gotta line everything up. You can see on the side it's got these kind of teeth marks that put the pressure in between the grips of the cloth here, and you gotta use the 2 screws to replace it. So we'll just basically get that going. Take one screw off, take the other screw off. All right. And then now what I typically like to do, I'll grab some more of this cloth here. This came with the, I bought some extra ones when it came with the CMX clean machine. And so I just use this fabric, and then I just line it up. Make sure I get kind of the same length that I get from the last cut that I made. Cut that off. And then we're just going to sandwich it back together. At least attempt to, because this is always the tricky part. Because you got to try to get it into these little grooves here. Again, I'm not sure how well it's coming out on the camera here, because my big fat fingers are in the way. Good question. Give me 1 second here. This is kind of a tricky little thing. Because sometimes the teeth cannot match up. So I'll answer that here in a second, Train Man. Alright, I think we got it. Ish. Okay. So we got our fresh new padding. Get our screws into place. Again, I really don't like this design, but you know, you just deal with what you have. Screw these back in. This will clamp down that fabric, hopefully, in theory. Alright, so there we go. So now we got that cloth all back together. Okay, so Train Man. Basically any hobby store typically sells them. If not, you can go online. Yankee Dabbler, I think, sells them. Iron Planet Hobbies. I think even Amazon may actually have them too. Let's see here. Yeah, and that's the thing. If you want that prototypical look, then yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool. I wish, Papa John, I wish. Monkey pads, okay. No, and again, I may be... I think you're right. I think these are actually called the monkey pads, not monkey bar pads or something like whatever I said. I forget the name of it, so... But yeah, I think you're right. I think they're also called monkey pads. Alright, and then let's go ahead and put this back on. Okay, and then we'll put our trucks back on. Alright, and that is fresh and ready to go. Okay, so now let's get over to the clean machine here. Okay, so the clean machine does 2 different things. It basically allows any type of liquid, cleaning liquid that you can put in here, and this is basically our drop rate control valve that adjusts the speed of the drips in the pad itself. And the bottom part obviously is a cleaning pad, but this thing weighs a considerable amount. And just to give you guys an idea of just how much this weighs, I'm gonna go ahead and let's power on our kind of weight thing here. And I'll show you guys just how much this weighs. So we're at 0 grams. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy on, and this weighs 335 grams, just to give you guys kind of just of how much weight this car is. So that gives you kind of an idea of how heavy that car is. Typically, you need at least 2 engines. For this train that I typically run, I usually run 3. Because it's definitely heavy for sure. So, definitely a heavy car. Okay, so I like this method a lot better when it comes to the CMX machine. Because you got these little clamps on the side that hold it down versus using the screws. So now I just pop that out. Again, I'll kind of use the same method. And then I'll just measure the length that I need. I will cut it. And then we'll just put these back in. Clamp it down, and that'll be the end of that. Alright, do I have that clamped down? Come on now. There we go. A little bit too long there, but it'll work. Okay, so now we got that replaced, and now the next thing I need to do is make sure we got plenty of liquid. Now again, take what I say with a grain of salt, but there are plenty of different people. There's plenty of different books, articles, webcasts, conversations, debates, yada, 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 about what type of liquid should I use for my railroad to clean out the layout. Again, this all is dependent on your railroad, what type of wheels you use, what climate you're in. You know, there's just so many different things. For me personally, I used mineral spirits before, and it worked to a point, but the problem I ran into very quickly is that with mineral spirits, from what I saw, it does well cleaning the rails. Don't get me wrong, it was one of the best liquids that I used. However, that's if you're only using metal wheels. If you use plastic wheels, I found that actually dirties my track 10 times faster. And so it just, I went away from mineral spirits, and I decided to go back to Icey purple alcohol, and this is the 91%. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Everyone has their own preference, but that's what I use, and I find that it's definitely better, and especially now that I use an entire train to clean my tracks now instead of like trying to do it by hand. I find it to be a lot easier. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is I've got basically my syringe here, and the left side here opens up the top, and I get to see if I need some more alcohol. Yeah, it looks like it's running a little low. So we're gonna just go ahead and take some 91%. Again, I gotta be very careful because I do have pets, so I tend to try to clean up after myself as best I can. And then we're just gonna inject it in there very, very slowly. You do not want to overfill this because when you go to cap it off, it will give you some overfillage. So again, I'm just taking it nice and easy. Okay, so now I've got it full. Doesn't take much. Does not take much at all. And so I put a little bit too much in there. So I'm just going to take some out. Make sure I've got room for my cap. All right. So one thing to know about these CMX machines is that you do have the little hole right here, and the whole purpose of that hole is to basically give the air, so that way when you open up your valve here, air can come in and actually force the alcohol down with gravity, and then go from there. So I'm just going to cap this back off. Again, not too tight because we want to get some air flowing through there. But again, to note about this particular car, be careful when you're storing this, because if you tilt this upside down and you don't have your lid on tight, it will leak. So typically when I store it upright at all times. All right, get that on tight. All right, so the next thing we gotta do now is adjust the drip rate. Now, I'm gonna have to do this off camera because, again, I gotta keep this upright because I got this kind of loose and I want all my 91% alcohol to actually tip over. But basically what we wanna do is in between the cylinder and the actual pad brass itself, you'll see the alcohol kind of drip, and you just want to adjust it to your preference and liking of the drip rate. Typically, when I see it drip, I don't know, like a couple seconds, it's really hard to explain. Once you see it dripping on the pad to your preference, then you're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust that so I can see my drips. And then once I see my drips, because it's going to drip right onto that pad. All right, so now it's dripping. I can see it here. All right, and then let's do right. Again, this part, it's really tough to see on camera. So, all right, so it is now dripping onto the pad. So it is ready to go to clean our track. So let's go ahead and let's go back to our camera here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling the cleaning train onto Phoenix Point. So give me about a few minutes here, and I'll get this train all assembled. We'll fire up the Mopac units. They're gonna pull it, and then we'll go from there. All right, 2 cars are on. Now I need to grab the roller. Again, there is a particular order, and I'll try to explain it once we see the train go around the track a little bit more in full detail. All right, we've got the roller on, and then I'll grab, let's see, we'll do the cattle car next. Now, one thing I kind of forgot to mention is that when it comes to that roller car, you cannot roll backwards. It can get pretty loud, BCF parts. I don't know if that mic is going to pick it up or not, but you can probably hear it. So I'm about to find out as well to see if this mic actually picks it up, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna put the caboose on next. All right, I'll put the tanker car on. Let's put cow car on. And then finally the Mopac. Alright, so I have the whole train kind of put together. I gotta do one thing here really quick. Okay, let's do that, let's do that. Let's do this. Do this. Okay. So, from my experience, it can pick up a lot of dust, and it'll pick up ballast. I would say the best thing that I can say is that it picked up about medium-sized ballast is the best reference that I can give you. And it's picked up things like springs, broken couplers. It's pretty impressive what it can pick up. Now, it goes without saying. Now, I did do a video. Let me see if I can find that video for you guys real quick, too. I did do a video about my cleaning train. And I'll pop that in. If you want even more crazy details on how it works and everything. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here it is. So I will pop my cleaning train video into the chat as well. Paste. So there's that video. But this is the first time I've done it live to show you guys how I've actually kind of cleaned it out and so forth. But I figured I'd show you guys. Alright. Let's go ahead, and I need to change my mainline turnout here real quick to throw. We're going to bring the Mopac unit up. Alright. And I want to try to give you guys somewhat of a perspective here. And of course this isn't working, question mark. Okay, please hold. Let me get back to Phoenix Point. I gotta figure out why that's not working. So give me one moment. We'll get this camera angle up and going. But for now, let's go ahead and let's bring the Mopac unit forward. Awesome. Okay. All right. So there's that. So let's go ahead and see if this camera view will work now. There we go. So now you guys can see it from this perspective. And let's go ahead and I'll reverse this train. We gotta connect. Oops. Hang on. I gotta throw my points again, and it's already on. Hang on. We'll get this. Let me throw switch 200 on Phoenix Point. And let's go ahead and reverse this. We'll connect to the cleaning train. Okay, stop. Okay, so like I said, the thing about this train is that I cannot go backwards. Reason being is because that roller that's on there is basically connected by physics and friction. Friction's keeping it together and kind of rolling forward. Now, if you were to go backwards, it'll unroll it. And that roller is actually made of brass because you got to have the weight to push down onto the track for that cleaning to actually take place and to pick up all that loose debris, all the excess alcohol and so forth. You can put a small rubber band on it, but I haven't found any good success with it. But yeah, so the big rule is don't go reverse with the cleaning train. Okay, so some other things to consider. Let's go back to Phoenix Point here. Okay, so like I said before, that vacuum car has a decoder in it. Now, the big thing about this decoder is that you do not want to consist it with an engine, because the way it works is that motor is being controlled by the Digitrax decoder, and when you adjust the throttle on that, it controls the speed of the vacuum. So you don't want to go too high, because if you go too high, it'll trip the circuit breaker inside and actually ruin the circuit board. So you got to be careful with it. So I've got that vacuum car programmed, and I'll go ahead and access it right now. And again, another thing you want to consider is that you want to put it to a number that is not commonly used on your layouts, because then you may find yourself blowing out your decoder on the vacuum car if you do. So you want to choose a very obscure number that, you know, it's typically not going to be used, and then program it. So I'm going to go ahead and crank it up. So it is. So the vacuum car. Whoa. So the vacuum car is on. I don't know if you can hear that behind me. I typically leave it around between 30 and 35 speed step, and then don't go past that. Because then, again, we risk frying our decoder, burning out the motor, and so forth. So the vacuum cart is on. Again, I don't know if the Auto Technica is picking it up because I do have a lot of gates behind it. But with that, let's go ahead and spin it up. I'm hoping these 3 engines can pull it. I haven't tested this yet. Oh no. I don't think these engines are gonna pull it. And that's 3 engines. Yeah, BCF parts. It's got pickups in the trucks. Alright, before I burn out my... Alright. Okay, so that epically failed. Give me 1 second. I need to figure out what I want to do. Tell you what, let me grab the engines that typically pull this. Because I was hoping that these Mopaks can pull it, but apparently not. So give me 1 second. Alright, you know what? We're going to kind of throw caution to the wind. And we're going to put a centipede on it. And see if... we're going to get kind of ridiculous with this. And just see what happens. It is 1600. We're going to acquire it. We're going to go in reverse. Oh, but you know what? I've got a front coupler issue with that Mopak. That's not going to work, is it? No, it's not. Okay. Why are you shooting? Come on now. My roller is not wanting to cooperate. I don't know why. Alright, I'm gonna re-roll this roller because we're having some issues here for sure. So give me a hot minute. Definitely running a little bit more into issues than I thought. Alright. So I've got that. Let's try this again. Normally this works, but today it's just not wanting to cooperate. Alright, let's try this. That feels better. Alright, we're going to see if we can get this going. Alright, let me release. Let me add on to the consist here. Alright. Hey! We got progress. Alright, I'm going to watch this very closely because All right, and away we go. Let's get over to where are you? Wilding 1. There we go. All right, I'm gonna grab 99. Acquire the vacuum. Get the vacuum on. Alright, and the cleaning train is underway. Again, sorry for that small delay there. Get you guys on the 180 camera. So for this train, it actually took 4 engines to pull. So again, there's our vacuum car. All right, let's try to bring up another camera here. Probably all the cameras. No, let's just do this one. This one will probably be better. Alright, let's bring up Phoenix Point. Now, this is usually the more difficult part, because this is all uphill. You know what? Let's do this. Let's get the 2 cameras here. All right, so let's talk about this consist. You like the location names on camera? Awesome. Yeah, I know. I think it was Mystic and a few others were suggesting it. And so I finally got around to actually labeling them to the correct modular. All right, let's bring up Harbor Point. All right, let's also bring up Wilding 1. Okay, so let's talk about this consist. So again, as we come across Wilding 1, we got our 4 engines pulling it. You can just see how heavy this train is. It required 4 and then a centipede. So that's our vacuum car picking up all that loose debris. We got the CMX car putting all that liquid onto the track. We've got the center line car picking up all the excess residue from the CMX alcohol drop. We've got the 4 cars that are scraping, and then we got that caboose that's picking up the last and final debris from the track. So that is how this consist works. And run this a couple of times around the track, and then it is super shiny. And then we'll open up that vacuum car to see how much dust and crud we picked up. So.
No, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. See this really noisy one? You're not looking.
Fairy VR is enjoying the
You're not.
the vacuum.
That's my vacuum cleaner card. It is literally sweeping up the dust right now. So,
coming across Wilding 6 and 4 here.
You have no idea how therapeutic that is.
Yep, burning all that fuel. Oh yeah. Here in the Icey Railway, we burn fuel for fun. It is super cheap. Is that the boss? Yeah. We got Wilding 6 there. Let's bring up the 2 cameras. Let's see. Let's bring up Phoenix Point. Hey, Trackside Mike. How you doing, good sir? How are you today? Again, for all of you just joining us and those who are lurking today, we're starting off the stream with we desperately needed to clean the track here at the Icey Railway. We have found some nasty particles, a lot of black stuff just all over the track. And so we have dispatched our Mopac GP38, GP38-2, our SW1500, and we also needed the help from a Union Pacific Centipede A unit to help pull this. We've got the vacuum car there, we got the CMX cleaning machine, we've got the Centerline roller, the Bachmann Monkey cleaners, along with some scrubbing pads from Bachmann, and then we got an old IHC caboose cleaning that track as well. So let's go ahead and bring up the 180 camera so you guys can see that again. Again, we're just going to run this a couple times, and then we'll see kind of how much we picked up. So again, there's our Mopac units. Our Centipede. And then the cleaning consist. So this is probably the only train that that has to be in this consist in every particular car order. And I typically put that tank car at the very back as well because it doesn't do well pulling a load behind it. So this is definitely one of those trains that has very strict configuration style. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Papa John. Didn't want to drive in the rain? Yeah, I hear ya. So again, we got the trains running through there. And then on board our train cam. Train cam is on the siding for right now. And coming around to Harbor Point. To be honest, knock on wood, I'm surprised that Centipede and all the engines are getting along. I'm surprised I haven't derailed yet. Low key, I'm actually quite surprised this is working the first time. Because I never tried this before, having the Centipedes on there. Coming around Wilding 1 and 2 there. And then coming in front of Testing Range Modular. Now, I think what I'm going to do for this next part, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, let's bring up the 180 camera. This 180 camera is actually my only 4K camera. I don't think I'm broadcasting in 4K. That's kind of the next step I want to do eventually in the future. But it's definitely one of my more favorite cameras because I can control a lot of it. You want to see all of that? Yeah, well, I'll show you guys. That's actually kind of what I'm setting up right now is we're going to get our mobile cam set up. So that way you guys can see the dirt and everything, hopefully in 4K. Well, in 1080p because I'm only broadcasting up to 1080p. But yeah, all the dirt. Alright, let's bring over to our 2 train cameras here. As we see the cleaning train going by, being dispatched and doing all the hard work that we need to. I appreciate it, Trackside Mike. I appreciate that. So yeah, this camera right here is probably one of my more favorite ones because we're actually on the train. And we'll definitely have this one going when we run our big blow here in a second. I just need to get my camera set up here real quick. All right, let's do this. Tools, this one, and the camera. Start. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and go to our. Oh, how did I do this? Oh, yeah. So let's go. Oh, I called it mini rail fanning with camera. Okay. And then just give me a hot minute here. Copy and paste. And okay. Okay. Ooh, come on. You can do it, camera. Get into focus. We can do it. You can do it, camera. We can do it. Wow. Why is this like this? Okay. Well, I'll do the best I can with this. All right. Tell you what. Those engines are getting a little bit hot. Yeah, that resolution's really crappy, isn't it? Okay, this ain't gonna work. Tell you guys what. Let's go back to a different camera here. Tell you what, we'll go to this camera. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's try this. Well, this is now cooperating. Hang on. Let me try this one more time. Let's try this one more time here. Okay. Now this thing is kind of stabled. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see. Let's do this. When it decides to focus, you can kind of see all that gunk that's in there. Let's see, how's that coming up for you guys? Let's see, live. But yeah, you can kind of, this gives you kind of an idea. Let me try a different camera angle. Okay, let's see here. Let's try this. Let's go back to the bench work. Okay. Let's see. That's actually a good point. Okay, let's see. Bench camera. Properties. We'll get this working. It's not necessarily the focus, it's my bit rate's going to crap. Internet's having some issues, I think. I think that's where we're kind of running into the issues. And now this camera doesn't want to cooperate. Yay! Okay. Let's see here. I'll try this one more time. If not, I'll go back to plan A. Let me switch cameras. Yep, that one's being used. There we go. We got focus. Okay. So, you can kind of see the gunk in there. As far as paper is concerned, it's not a bad idea. Let me see if I can find something. Oh, you know what? Perfect. All right. All right, we'll just shake all this out. So you can kind of see all the debris. Stop running plastic wheels, I know, right? So you can kind of see all the gunk and everything that came from the vacuum car. Again, this is just dust, random particles, hair from the pets. And that's why usually once a month, gotta run this train. See, there's there's all the dust from the filter here. Let's scrape all this out. So yeah, that's why I gotta do this at least once a month on this layout. And then we still gotta clean out the wheels. I mean, clean up down here. Now this is not bad. Like, I'm actually surprised it's this clean, but and there goes that. But you guys get the idea. So that's what the vacuum cleaner kind of does. That gives you kind of an example of what this car can do. But again, I kind of go through a little bit, and I also did a decoder install for this guy. Let me bring up that video real quick as well. So if you want to know how to install a decoder, I did do a video on it, and I just got to find that one real quick. And I'll just post it down below. Here we go. It is the Dapool vacuum car. I was able to find it here. So I'll go ahead and post that Digitrack. So that video is basically me installing the DCC. So that way you guys can get a perspective on that as well. So I've got 2 videos basically describing the process of this train a little bit, plus a live stream to show you guys. So let's go ahead and go back to the I want to put this car aside. Let's take a look at some of the other cars. Alright, now I do need to remember, when it comes to the CMX, to close the top one and the other one, so that way we can stop the dripping effect. Wow! Oh my goodness. And see, this is why we don't run plastic wheels, even though I run plastic wheels. You can just see how dirty that was a clean pad, and that is almost charcoal black. That is, I gotta take that off. Like, that's really not usable. And I can tell my drip rate was a little too much because this pad is kind of soaked, and I don't want it that soaked. Now, this train is expensive, let me tell you. But it is worth it because it saves me so much time scrubbing and dealing with all this. I mean, just look at that. That's, oof. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. But what's cool about it is that this pretty much did its job. Because when you look at the roller here, it's pretty dry too. It didn't really pick up much, which is good, which is a good thing. That's what we want. Okay, I just gotta do something really quick on this card that I noticed. Okay. Alright, so we'll set that card aside. Okay, turn that right. Alright. Let's take a look at the monkey cleaners. Yeah, see, and this is where, see, it's not that bad. As you can see, we're getting, you know, not too much back here, so that tells me that this really did its job. It picked everything up. The pads picked up the residue alcohol, and, you know, it left to the point that, you know, these monkey bars didn't, or these monkey cleaners really didn't pick up much. And normally these are black, but I'm surprised that this is pretty light. So it's not too bad overall. I was expecting worse. All right, and then so the last thing, this is where it's the moment of truth when it comes to the caboose. Because this is when I know that the train worked or did not work, depending on if we see any of that residue on this pad. And you know what? It worked to a degree, because we're starting to see how heavy it is on the front end here. But as we slowly get to the back, it's fading. That's exactly what I want to see, because we're getting the very last bits of that gunk from that train. So this did exactly what I needed to do. So overall, I'm satisfied with those runs. As you can see, we picked up a lot of gunk off that track. And then I'll just do one quick inspection of the track just to make sure it looks nice and shiny. And I can tell you, it looks nice and shiny. Yeah, it looks good. Just a quick look around the track. It is nice and shiny, and again, that's why we do this. That's why I like this train. And like I said, this consist, to get this entire consist together, take your time getting all these cars, because again, it's not cheap. It's not for the faint of heart. But I get this because it saves a lot of time scrubbing and just dealing with alcohol, dealing with pads and all that. You know, I just did 3 or 4 quick laps around a track, and it pretty much did the job. So I always recommend trying it this way. If not, you know, find your methods. Yeah, and that's another thing you can look at BCF parts. But so here's kind of my counter argument a little bit. Yeah, it didn't do much per se, but that's not to say that I need to readjust where I have it on the train. And let me also put it this way. Some things I need to take into consideration when it comes to this is that, yeah, it didn't pick up too much. So what I would recommend is don't use this by itself. Again, that's why I have this whole consist, is because, you know, this still picked up things on it. You can see it's still a little bit of black, but yeah, granted, it didn't pick up much, and that's why we have all the other cars. So when one car doesn't do the job, another car will get it to that 100% mark. So that's why I have the entire train, so that way it can pick up any style of dirt when it comes to that. So another thing to think about is that, again, I probably need to put this near the caboose in the future, or put this right behind the centerline roller. Again, I'll have to play around on the consist of where I put this guy, but it still picked up stuff that may not have been picked up by other things, and you know, it still works. But yeah, it didn't work as well compared to the others. Now, the other thing I need to take into consideration as well is that this is a fairly light car. If I would put some weight to this, which I'm probably going to do, I'll probably add some weight to this, especially underneath the trucks. So that way we can really get some more pressure onto it. So again, I wouldn't necessarily say that, yeah, it didn't pick up a lot, but it still picked up some things that may have been missed by other things. And again, it's not necessarily don't use that by itself, obviously. Put a consist together of clean trains. And I guess that's what I'm kind of driving the point when it comes to the clean train. My methods is usually not just one particular cleaning car. It's, putting it in a series so that way, you can get the best cleanage when it comes to your track. So, I mean, very, very good, fair points. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and tighten this car up. Let's put it aside. And now with the track inspected and good to go and cleaned, which means your track's there, yeah. And that's the thing about plastic wheels is that, and again too, if you're in a climate that is somewhat damper, you're gonna get dirty track, and it just means that you're gonna have to clean it a little bit more often. But that's why I put this train together, so that way, I have the trains doing the work for me. So much easier. So much easier. So again, hopefully, I don't recommend. Let me see how I can phrase this. When it comes to this type of stuff, do your research. Need springs, yeah, I'll agree with that too. Yep, need springs pushing pad down, yeah. But again, the whole purpose behind this particular car on these monkey pads is that it's supposed to be a cost-effective way to clean your track, or to at least get an attempt to start cleaning your track. Again, something is better than nothing. So, again, you get what you pay for. But when it comes to cleaning, again, do your research, figure out what type of layout you have, what type of wheels you're going to be running, and experiment. Like, it is literally, when it comes to cleaning, it is literally a trial and error type of situation. Again, there's plenty of articles, there's plenty of books written on it. I'm just showing you guys what I do. It may not work well for you, or it may be out of your price range to do. But again, I'm just sharing this just to give you guys ideas to hopefully give you the light bulb moment of how you want to clean your track. So that's all I do. Again, I'm not going to go into the science of, you must use mineral spirits. You must use, deox, or you must use the clean machine. I use everything, essentially. I'll use the deox kind of once in a blue moon, because that does help too, and that's actually something I should put down. I think I actually do have deox, actually. But yeah, Papa John, as we just shown, it works to a degree. It won't get the track, deep cleaned. Again, it'll pick up some things that other cars have missed, but again, consist. So, and again, like I said, experiment. Experiment. Trial and error it. And then take it from there. So, and then also, that alcohol. The alcohol is definitely, that 91% alcohol works well for me. Again, it may not work well for you. Maybe, mineral spirits will work better for you. But again, experiment. We get so hung up of, you must do it this way. No, this is a sandbox hobby. Everyone has different circumstances, different, ways they run their layouts. And, people have plastic wheels. Other people have metal wheels. People run around circles for hours upon hours. Others, may not run it, once a month. So, yeah, and it's always good to clean. Yep. And just find the way that works for you. And use 99%. I can't find 99% around here. That's the next alcohol I want to get. I can't find it around here. So I have to probably order online, but I want to go through my 91% first, and then I'll probably have to buy it online to get the 99%, but I haven't found any of it in my local stores, so that's why I'm going with the 91%. So again, we talk about, availability and different ways of cleaning a track. Sometimes it just comes down to what do you have to clean your tracks as well. So it's just interesting. Many different ways to do this hobby. And that's why I don't lay down the law saying you must do it this way. No. I will show you what I do, and you guys can make an educated, formalized ways of doing your cleaning. So, anyways, I think that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and let's get on board our train here. Let's see, make sure I'm still capturing. So give me 1 hot minute, and then we'll get to the main event for this stream, which is the Big Blow Turbine from Scale Trains. So we will do this. And then I'll talk about some things that I announced in my modular layout video update of kind of the future for this layout. Yeah, and see, and that's another thing. All good as you get, yeah, as long as you get good contact, yep. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Cleaning the track is actually 50% of the equation. You got to think about cleaning your engine as well, because you got to clean the wheels, you got to clean the contacts. Sometimes the motor itself has to get cleaned. So it's like, you know, when you think about cleaning, it goes both ways. It goes on the layout and it goes on the particular engine as well. So just a lot of things to think about, especially when you're getting into this this hobby. No. Back. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back on board here. Camera. We'll bring up the back camera here. There we go. Yep. Do the wheels. Absolutely. Sorry, I found a better way of capturing the chat, so gotta do all these. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the 5-finger removal here of the engines real quick, just for the sake of time. Oh, crap. Whoops. That was a mistake. Just jammed into that one. Alright. So I'll show you guys what I did a kind of big oopsie. I'm surprised I didn't burn out my other centipede. Let's just put it that way. Alright, let's get the Mopac aside here. Okay, so I kind of did an oopsie. Oh, yeah. So I kind of have to do a shout out to SMT Mainline, because I got super addicted to his cleaning videos, and when he mentioned the fiberglass pencil, let's just say I also got one too. So yeah, fiberglass pencil, man, this thing is a lifesaver. Absolutely a lifesaver. So yeah, 100% agree about the fiberglass pencils. And I think it was the Plumber Man. Oh my goodness, but you can buy like a set of those on Amazon for super cheap. Super cheap. Okay. So one thing I forgot to do. So kind of got a little bit of a lesson learned from that last run I just had. So I forgot that I consisted both A and B centipedes. Let's go ahead and bring up Wilding 1. So you can see the A and B unit there. One is technically 1600, the other number is 1601, but I just put 1600 for the sake of easy consisting. And as I was running that 1600, I left the other 1600 on there. And so it was literally jammed up against my Challenger, jammed up against the tender of the big boy. So needless to say, I didn't see any coupler issues, but I'll definitely have to inspect the wheels on that B unit. RIP. But it still runs. So we're in the clear for now, but I gotta check the wheels on it. Nice. Yeah, I kind of do the same now. Again, thanks to I gotta give a lot of thanks to SMT Mainline because looking at all his videos on all the older engines, I was able to repair a lot of my engines here and actually get them up to DCC. Thanks to also solo contracting. So between those two YouTube channels, I have been on a roll repairing old engines and then watch. So I have a lot of old engines. I watch SMT Mainline to figure out how the guts of it work and everything. And then once I'm comfortable, then I do that on my old engines. Then I go to Solo Contracting's YouTube channel to see how he installs the DCC decoders, decoder buddies, and 21 pins, 8 pins, and I've been slowly converting them over to DCC. And matter of fact, the second GP32 that you saw running here on the cleaning train was actually my first DC to DC, or yeah, DC to DCC conversion using Digitrax. So. Nice, yeah. I mean, it's good info. It's good info. So, I probably won't go too much in. I don't know. I'm still debating if I want to record my process when it comes to cleaning and upgrading. I just don't want this channel to be too techy to the point that it turns people off. I'm more into the let's have fun. Let's just put a train on the track. Let's see how crazy we can get and just run it. So that's kind of what I bring to the hobby. And that's kind of what I do. So I've done some DCC ready installs. Like I said, I've done the one on the vacuum car. I did one on the front runner. And I'm probably, my next one's going to be, I don't think I have it with me. But yeah, my next one, the next one I want to convert is my DCC ready Amtrak unit here, because I've been dying to get an Amtrak train on the layout. So this is probably going to be the next one that I will convert over to DCC. So in the somewhat distant future. So yep, I will definitely agree. Fiberglass pens are great. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, enough stalling. Let's go ahead and let's get to the point here. Oh no, you lost your first one. Oh no. All right, let's bring up the big blow here, because I have teased that long enough. And so what we'll do here, let's release this. Let's select recent loco 817. That's my camera train. Okay, so coming up behind the camera train here, we've got the big blow turbine. I'll try to get these speed mesh as best as I can, so you guys can get a good angle. So this is the first time I've kind of done a chase train kind of perspective. So this is a first on the channel, being able to live stream in front of a moving train. So this is the chasing train perspective. And now I need to stop because the rest of the train is missing. Yay! Stop and stop. Okay, hang on. Mr. Turbine, you forgot something. Alright, so now we got those connected. Let me get the camera train rolling first because it's got bloody momentum, and I hate momentum with a fiery passion. Thank you, ESU local sound decoders. You are a nightmare to deal with sometimes, but I digress. Okay, so now you get this perspective. And I've kind of done this a few times on some of my really old videos. I haven't done it recently. And so I wanted to do this live streaming. And normally I do this on my other cameras, but the fact that now I'm able to live stream this view, this is definitely a first for the channel. And so now you guys get to see. Let's go ahead and put the light on here on the, oh, nope, that's going to blind you guys. Okay. Noted. Let's get some sound on. Is it 6 for sound? Is it 4 for sound? Man, ESG, why can't you be consistent? There we go. Why are you slowing down? Let's go. Alright, considering... I don't know what's going on with this thing. Let's stop here real quick. Alright, let's bring this back up again. Alright. This is a little bit of a challenge from time to time, but... Okay, so speed matching is not working. We'll get this. Just hang tight. This turbine's not being too cooperative at the moment. Alright. There we go. We will get this. Yeah. That's what I kind of had to do, is, there we go. I appreciate it, Papa John. That's the thing, you know, the whole purpose of my channel is that I want you guys to have fun and just enjoy model railroading. And, you know, I always wanted to get the great views for you guys, and sometimes it does bust my brain a little bit trying to figure out how to do that, but this type of view here is just, it's quite something special. It's quite something special when things come together. So what's really interesting is that, you know, in order to get the setup that I have, in order to give you this one single shot, it took me about 12 years to figure out. I've been wanting to do something like this for years, and I just didn't have the technology, didn't have the financial support to do it, didn't have probably the right internet to do it. It's just, this took many, many years to figure out. And really the final piece was, how do I get a camera on the train to live stream? Exactly. Yeah, exactly, train man. Exactly. Alright, so let me tell you a little bit more about the train that you are seeing here. So, what we got is basically, you guys are riding on board the GP30 Chicago Northwestern camera train. So we got, whoa, come on. Camera. Do not spaz out. No, bad camera. Anyways, so and it looks like I need to do some adjusting here. Let's speed this up just a tad. Okay, I think we're cooperating. So yeah, the engine being pulled, the camera train is a scale change GP30 Chicago Northwestern. And what you're looking at here is a first generation scale trains Big Blow number 26. Number 26 is actually one of the surviving gas turbines, and why this engine's so special for me is that I've actually been on this engine and inside of it, because this one is being held at Ogden, Utah, at Ogden's Union Pacific Station. So that's what makes this engine really special for me, because I've actually been in it in real life. And it is currently pulling, again, obviously, I do a lot of fantasy contests on this channel. I do some crazy things. It is currently pulling the Missouri Pacific Colorado Eagle passenger train. And so we'll watch this camera angle for a little bit. I'll give you guys the two camera here. So now you get to see the angle from the GP30 that's right above me, and then you can see the Big Blow turbine on the left here. And it looks like I gotta adjust the cameras a little bit, but yeah, we'll get there in due time. So. And then let me see if I got all the cameras working here. And if you really want to get kind of psycho, here is all the camera angles. Obviously, I don't have the other two cameras. So again, if you're new to this channel, basically those two cameras are these two right here. I don't have them connected for this stream today, but they basically give you the left and right perspective of that train. I'm waiting for another flat car to come in before I put those back on, because I had a crazy contest. If you want to see these cameras in action, watch the episode 12 of this podcast, and you'll kind of see the craziness that was all those cameras. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, let's get you guys back on board the train here. All right, let me fix those cameras real quick so it doesn't become too much of an LCD issue. That's a little bit better. And this is where part of the stream we just chill and relax and have fun. Eventually, I do want to bring up guests, because I do have Video Ninja kind of integrated with all my scenes. And I think we'll try that for next time if you guys want to come up and chat with cameras and everything, because I do need to road test that still. But I'm not quite ready to beta test it just yet. I still want to get some scenes squared away solo for right now, and then we'll get you guys on. So that is definitely the progression that we're going to go with. So I think we got it pretty close to speed match. I mean, I know we're going a little bit too quick there for the turbine, but great perspectives. And I just love... I don't know what it is about those GP30s, but the roof style of GP30s are just gorgeous. And this camera right here really highlights that. Matter of fact, let's get you guys that camera view for a little bit. So that's our GP30 that is pulling us, that we're on board on right now. What's so cool about scale trains is I got to give them props that they do their research. They do all the schematics when it comes to their products. And with the CNW in particular, they actually put those diesel horns off to the right. So you can kind of see it there. You know, you're so used to seeing the horns on top of the actual frame itself. But, you know, with the CNW, Chicago Northwestern, they put it off to the right there. And that's their kind of uniqueness when it comes to it. And you can see kind of GP30 on the left there. And then there's our Mopacs resting from a hard days of work, pulling that very heavy cleaning train. Let's get you guys onto Phoenix Point. So again, there's that wonderful GP30. It is now my new favorite 4-axle diesel. Scale Trains just did a great work with it. And then following it is the mighty gas turbine Big Blow number 26 Union Pacific from Scale Trains. And it's pulling the Missouri Pacific Colorado Eagle passenger train. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite passenger trains to run. Typically, I run it with the big boy on an excursion run. There have been times that I've run it at Samurai layout, and I think I've got that recorded on a couple of videos here on the channel. Now, unfortunately, the Big Blow here, you will only see this running on my layout. Unfortunately, it does have some issues on the switches when it comes to the Samurai layout. So, unfortunately, you won't see it at Samurai on that layout, but the fact that it's working here, I'm kind of happy because then you guys can get kind of a streaming exclusive. So again, here's our crazy camera train coming in front of the 4K camera. And then we've got number 26. Again, this camera has some focusing issues. I'm going to dig into the weeds and figure out if I can get that to stay autofocus or manually focused. So I still got some work to do on this camera. But I'm really happy with this. All right, let's bring up, see, Phoenix Point is definitely one of my favorite spots to hang out and kind of rail fan. Eventually, kind of the way forward now for this particular layout. So you guys need to, if you want to know what kind of the next envision, let me see if I can get a good perspective here. Okay, so let's talk about the future. Eventually, these cameras are going to get upgraded to 4K. I want to stream in 4K. I really want to test this fiber when it comes to the internet. But in order to do that, I got to upgrade my computer. So that is kind of my choke point right now in doing that. And so for now, it's more about, I mean, this is run trains, you know. So in my latest modular layout update video, I kind of talked about, you can see the modular that's kind of higher to the left with the tree and the station and the single rail. So basically what we're going to do is that the modular that you see here, Harbor Point, that's going to get eventually removed. And I'm going to put in there what I call Icey Mountain. Now, I'll talk about more about Icey Mountain when I do my Any Rails video. And we'll actually design Icey Mountain so that way you can see kind of the future. But I want to put a switch on this turn so that way it continues straight into the closet. So that way we can have our Kirby rail yard modulars. And so it'll be basically a 3 modular layout or yard. So, and it'll be 5 tracks wide. So that way I can actually have a nice big yard to park my trains, park my engines, and so forth, and do a little bit of mini ops. So that's kind of the future there. And then Phoenix Point is going to get converted a little bit into a 3-to-1 modular, or I may actually create a new modular. I'm still kind of debating on that. But anyways, we'll have a new modular here that'll go from 3 tracks to 1 track, so that way we can utilize that third rail that I don't have any tracks on yet. And you can kind of see that here on the 180 4K camera. You can see that I've got the road bed down, but I have no track. It's because I've been trying to figure out how to get access to it, and so I've been playing around with several ideas. Stop. So, testing range modular. If you guys haven't seen my latest any rail video, the wave modular is going to be put into testing range, and testing range will be put into the closet for right now as part of the Dragon's branch line, so that way I can have that straight shot. But the whole point of the wave modular is that it'll allow me to go from 3 to 2 and then back from 2 to 3. And again, watch that video on any rail here on the channel, and you'll see kind of the design behind it. So it's all in the designing phase, and then we'll eventually build it. My eventual goal with the channel is you'll see conceptually from drawing a modular all the way through construction, all the way through implementation and installing, and up until, you know, the streams that you'll see it running and working. And so I want to document that journey from, you know, I have basic pieces here to modular construction to full-blown layout operation. So I've got at least 1 modular here. I got the wave modular, I got Icey mountain, and then we've got 3 Kirby yard modulars that I want to build. So that's 5 modulars in total that we're going to be designing, building, and then putting it onto the layout. So finally have a way forward for this layout, and I am excited for it. Definitely excited for the future. Just to give you guys some perspective. All right. Here comes the camera train in front of the camera. I keep forgetting to put my chat on live chat, not live chat. I don't know why. And then we've got the big blow turbine with the Missouri Pacific Colorado Eagle. All right, let's quickly run back on board to our train here to get the 2 camera view up and going. Let's slow down the camera train a little bit, get a chance for the turbine to catch up there, because it's falling a little bit behind. So a few things I just want to talk about. Again, thank you for all the support on the channel. We are definitely approaching that milestone subscriber mark of 1,000, which again is only half of the equation when it comes to partnership, getting you guys those emotes and all those special abilities here on the channel. You know, we gotta also get the watch hours. Now, don't worry about the watch hours. I'll try to update you guys where we're at, but mainly those watch hours is for me to produce good quality content, informational content for you guys when it comes to model railroading. I am working on that little by little. As you guys have seen, I've found a new schedule to try to get at least 1 video uploaded a day, along with my 3 shorts, and then along with my, you know, this live stream once a week. And so that's pretty much going to be my content schedule as best as I can do. I usually release videos 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, so that way we can try to hit all of the time zones. And then, you know, with my 3 shorts as well, coming from the Samurai layout. But my big goal right now is I want to up the quality of the videos for you guys. Now, you know, there'll be some things that I'll just, you know, it's more informational based, like my whole Icey Rail news. That's all informational based. It's designed to get you guys the word of mouth out there quickly. Like today, I found out that DigiKeys was going bankrupt. So as soon as I found that news, I found a lot of sources that kind of supported it. We shot out the Icey Rail news video right before the stream went live. But right now I'm experimenting with a schedule, figuring out what videos I want to upload throughout the 7-day week, and then we'll just have fun. Again, for me personally, it's all about having fun and making sure that things are good to go. And so tomorrow, I think probably tomorrow, I'll record my mini prints. I got my mini prints subscription box in, which I'll do a recording of, and hopefully get it out to you guys maybe by Sunday is when I'll probably end up releasing it, because I got to record it, upload it, wait for YouTube to buffer it, and get it into 4K quality. It'll probably be the first video that I'll have in 4K. Oh, it'll be the second one, because the turntable spotlight video was the first video on this channel that actually is in 4K, full-blown 4K. And that's where I want to get to. I want to get all of my content to 4K. Because, you know, I want to get you guys the best shots that I can. And, get all that detail, especially when it comes to scale trains. There's so much detail. But again, my goal is to get you guys as much information that I know when it comes to hobby, and then just have fun. Let's speed the GP30 up a little bit here. So yeah, I'll be doing Any Rail series is a big one. The turntable spotlight is... That turntable spotlight video and that series in particular is near and dear to my heart, because that's basically the type of content I started here on YouTube. I had this idea from a long time ago that, hey, I just want to showcase the object in its purest of forms. I don't like adding my commentary onto it, because I want you guys to look at it and make a decision for yourself. On how it looks, and then I'll try to run it here on the channel, and, you know, we can have a Q&A session with these live streams about it. But the whole purpose of the spotlight is we're putting all emphasis on that particular item. So, and that the first one I did was of this engine, actually, the Chicago Northwestern GP30, and I've got some more camera angles I want to get for those videos. So that turntable spotlight series is basically going to be my sandbox of how can I get the best quality videos to you guys. And so if you really want to see some innovations, I'm doing all sorts of different things behind the scenes to try to capture all those details that these companies are bringing forth to the table. So a lot more to come. I'm excited. But yeah, we're literally about 160 subscribers away from 1,000, which is insane to think about. And for the watch hours, you need 4,000 watch hours. We're about 1,200 watch hours, so still need some work to do on there. And we need to try to get that by December. But again, that's on me to create the content for you guys to enjoy. I don't want you guys to worry about those numbers. It is more of a piece on my side to do, and I'm working on it, because I'm really passionate about this hobby, and I want you to get guys those emotes, because those I love those emotes, and seeing those in chat is just my #1 goal for you guys to enjoy. So I suspect we'll get 1,000 probably by the summer, but again, you guys determine when we get to that number, when I'm worthy of getting to that number. But first and foremost, let's just have fun. And yeah, I'm excited. I've got a lot of plans, and I've got some bigger plans that I don't really want to talk about right now. But there will be a ton of Easter eggs in all of my videos, for the most part, on things that are kind of upcoming. Matter of fact, there may have been a few Easter eggs today on the live stream. So, a lot of cool stuff coming. Lot of cool things coming. Alright, so we've been kind of, let's do this. Let's go and bring up, let's bring up the rear here. So I'm thinking for next week we'll run those centipedes. We'll run the centipedes with the Greyhound Scheme Union Pacific cars. That's kind of what I'm feeling like. But yeah, as we come over testing range, you can see kind of the extra roadbed cork. I'd have a lot of plans for that too, because it's like I want to do mini ops just to show you guys, you know, the op side of things a little bit. But yeah, we'll just take it slow. Alright, let me pause you. Yeah, and as far as I'm trying to think, what was it? The rail cam series. I still have one more trick up my sleeve when it comes to those cameras, and I'm kind of waiting on a few pieces to fall into place to take it to its final form. Good old Phoenix Point. Phoenix Point was an interesting modular. That modular was actually a programming modular. It wasn't really a modular, it was more of the legs were so small that it was supposed to be put onto another table so that way people can program their engines. And it basically had normal HO track and an HON3 track, which is a little bit bigger, a little smaller than N scale. Or smaller than HO. A little bit bigger than N scale. But anyways, and so I ripped that all apart and turned it into Phoenix Point because that modular was so bad, was so in disrepair. And so I called it Phoenix Point because it rises from the ashes to get it to where it's at currently. Okay, so I think what we'll do now, I'll see if we can get this to work. I'll take you over to, you know what, let's just do this. I've got an idea, let's do this. We'll go back to our two cameras, and then what we'll do is we'll have Mr. GP30 here drop the camera, we'll drop us off at the Phoenix Point, and then we'll have the turbine there pick us up. So we can ride the turbine for a bit. And then one of these days, what I really would like to do... Hey! Thomas F., how you doing? What up? How are you? Good, sir. Welcome aboard the GP30 camera passenger train, whatever you want to call it. You're kind of following and recording the big blow turbine. We're about to drop off the camera train, however, and we're going to go ride that turbine. So we're going to do a little bit of ops here. Go ahead and kind of relocate here. Bring my handy dandy controller. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and have the GP30 here. We're going to drop off this camera. And then we'll have the turbine pick us up. And then, so that way we can become a passenger for this train. Alright, let's go ahead and uncouple. Alright. And then we'll send number 817 off. bring the gas turbine up a bit. So this is the best that I can do for ops for right now. Eventually we'll have like hard card systems or something, but for now, it is basically my fun way of doing ops. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll stop that at 817 for right now. We'll bring up the turbine. Alright, so the turbine will now connect to the camera train, and then we'll connect the camera to the rest of the Missouri Pacific Eagle, and then you guys can get the 180 on this train. Alright, let's do something real quick here. Okay, let's do this. So, got connected to the big blow. We're gonna connect you to the rest of the train. We'll park the GP30, and then we'll be on our way. Alright, so this GP30 has done its job for today. We will go ahead and park it right there for right now. We're next to the other GP30. We give this engineer on the turbine the full green. And we'll go from there. So, welcome aboard the Big Blow turbine number 26 with the Colorado Eagle train. So, we'll see if this cooperates. Because flat car tends to not cooperate with a heavy load behind it, so we'll see. Oh, but look at this shot right here. Let's bring that full screen here. Just seeing the whole turn there of the turbine. That's a pretty cool shot. And then we got our centipedes. Yeah, I think we'll run those. Next stream. I've got a hankering to run those too. Yeah, I think this is a first as well. I don't think we've captured this angle from a turbine perspective. So that's really, really cool. That's the cool thing about this hobby. It's just so relaxing to see a train going around in circles. I know that's not for everyone. I know some people like their point-to-point, like their puzzle, like their ops, like their scratch building. But for me, it's just capturing these little moments. Like, where else can you get a shot like this with a turbine? Like, I love this. And this is the new maintenance away train that I just got from New Braunfels Train Show, which I do have a video as well. So you can see all the posters. You got the M80 there, the MP above it, promontory point at the bottom. So that whiteboard is going to be my sticker wall. So again, if you got stickers to share, I do have a P.O. box. I think I have a link down below to my website that has my P.O. box. And as I get stickers, we'll plop them onto that whiteboard. And you can kind of see the idea behind the expansion. So right here, we'll have like a switch that goes right. And then, well, no, it'll go straight and then switch off to left. And then instead of turning left like you see the turbine doing here, it'll go straight where that modular is. That modular is called Beginner's Run. And then basically go into that closet where we'll have the Kirby yard, where we'll park a lot of our locomotives, our bigger trains, and so forth. So that way it'll kind of declutter my rails on this side, but we'll also build those other modulars so that way we can include that third rail and have even more sidings. So that way, you know, I can have a little more space, parking space. And eventually too, I'll add in some more shelves as well, because been getting a lot of good deals on passenger and freight lately. So I gotta get some more shelves up. All right, let's get back into the two cameras here. You know what I can do, actually? I just had another idea, but I think these don't have... No, you know what? I will add those two cameras. I just had an idea. Hang on. I just had an idea. Just gotta make sure though that those have Katy couplers on them. They do. No, no. Of course they don't. Do I have? No. What capabilities do? I'll have to do it for next stream. I'll do that, the idea on the next stream. It'll be kind of the new angle a little bit. Oh, hi, Kiku. Where are you going? Huh, cat? All right, let's get Phoenix Point up here, so you can see this craziness of a train. All right, so we got the star of the show coming around the corner. Number 26, Big Blow Turbine. That's such a beautiful. I love this Colorado Eagle set. Like I'm a big Mopac fan. Kind of went a little crazy with the Mopac stuff lately. Eventually, I'm kind of shifting over a little bit to Chicago Northwestern. But SP is about to get a lot of love because there's been a lot of pre-orders for SP lately, especially with their GS4s that Broadway just announced. Oh man, Broadway Limited came out with their Sharks too. Oh my goodness. And in fantasy schemes too. Like Atherin and Broadway Limited have been going crazy with the fantasy schemes, and I tell you what, it's gonna be nuts. Did a couple of videos about those Sharks. And it's like they're gonna have the Shark Mopac, which I'm excited for, because imagine having the Broadway Limited Sharks Mopac, you know, that white and blue color scheme, pulling this train. Oh man, it's gonna look so nice. I cannot wait. And eventually when I need to try to figure out... Actually. No, you'll get an echo if I do that. Yeah, that's fine. I want to figure out how to get wireless sound from the diesel to my mixer. So that way you guys can hear the train a little bit better. This is the problem is... with me talking, you may get an echo from that as well. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that just yet. I got to chew on that idea a little bit. So I'm just not sure if this mic is picking up the train sound. Let's see. Let's bring up camera. Where are ya? 6? Yeah. Phoenix Point. Let's bring back Phoenix Point. Eventually in the future, for when it comes to these cameras, I want to put them on mobile stands that has wheels and everything. So that way I can move them around, get different shots for different streams. I've got a whole bunch of ideas for this. You know, eventually, I've already figured out what cameras I want to use for 4K because they're wireless 4K. They just need an outlet. Alright, let's bring up Wilding 1 here. Alright, and then let's go ahead and jump back on with the 2 camera view. We haven't done the back view in a hot minute. Let's bring up the back view. So you guys can see the rest of the train here. Oh, I cannot wait to get all this set up. Because again, I want to get the signals do technically work. It's just, I still need more pieces for it to really function the way I want it to. And I do have a dispatching board on Jammer kind of set up for it. I just need more block detection because basically each one of these modulars will be its own block zone. But at the moment, I don't have enough equipment to do all of the modulars for block zone detection. And I'm still kind of figuring out which way I want to go. If I want to get more of the block detectors, do I just want to go ahead and upgrade the whole system? I'm not sure yet for Digitrex. And again, the next train show is going for me that I'm going to be going to is the NMRA convention in August in Grapevine, Texas. I cannot wait because for Mini Prince to be there. I'm still waiting for those signups to drop so I can sign up immediately. So that way eventually we can get a Rayron figure on this layout. Be kind of cool. There's our 2 GP 30 units. The Denver Rio Grande and the Chicago Northwestern, which I ran a whole bunch lately. And they're kind of just ticking cool. Go back to the 2 cameras here. This is so cool seeing that turbine on a turn. There's just something about it. Again, if you guys are new to the channel, again, hit that subscribe button if you want more. And if you want to know exactly when I upload videos, I always do the bell stuff. I'm in it to have fun, to see how far I can take capturing running a monitor or running a train, both on the live stream side and on the video side. Got plenty of shorts for you guys to enjoy. Again, those particular shorts, it's basically all the members at the San Antonio Mountain Railroad Association. They bring a plethora of diverse trains, and I love that club to pieces because it just never gets old. Just when you think you've seen all the trains on that layout, there's something new. From cab forwards to the Santa Fe Blue Goose. Obviously, my wife runs the Pink Panther train that we just kind of shown today, and the Dale Earnhardt train. I typically run either my front runner, now my GP30s, my big boy. So you'll see me run the California Zephyr a lot. I tend to just run things that just don't give me problems, so that way I can do the mini fanning shots. The fun runs from Samurai, which I gotta do the next video on because I've got enough clips now to make the next episode. But yeah, that's kind of the way forward. Again, 4K cameras, the expansion to have the yard, upgrading the computer. Eventually, I want to get the Digitrax 240 booster and the 240 command station, 210 boosters, and then a plethora of block detections and so forth. Because eventually, I want to get a dispatching monitor up and going. And I don't know, we may toy with that a little bit more next stream as well. We may play with that a little bit more. But let's see here. All the cameras. We haven't shown this in a bit. Yeah, we'll do this for you. So now you can get to kind of the full perspective of the layout here. We're just missing. That's fine. Alright, let's get back to Wilding 1. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and give the engineer a yellow signal indicating one last lap. And then let's get back onto the two cameras here. I gotta remember, is it 253? I don't remember. Like, I can't remember. Let's see here. I don't know if that signal's working. Nope. Let's do 256 maybe. No. Let's see. Let's do, so it's 254. Oops. Yeah, I'll mess with that later. Trying to get the signal there to turn yellow, but all the buttons are not working. Yeah, I'll definitely mess with that a little bit more later. I think this is probably the view I want to end on. It's just so cool seeing the A unit, the B unit, and the tender there for the turbine. That's why I'm just so fascinated about it. That's why I love transitional era Union Pacific. Because they were not afraid to go big and to experiment. Yeah, I can't wait to get that modular built so we can have that rail yard. All right. All right, we're gonna give the engineer the red here, and we'll go ahead and stop it right in front of the camera here. All right. This is definitely a long train. All right. And the engineer has shut down the engine. So, with that, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call a stream. Thank you so much for joining us on episode 13. Again, showing you guys the cleaning train, how I clean the track, and with the mighty gas turbine number 26. And again, thank you all so much for all the support that you given me over the past weeks. Channel has definitely been growing crazy lately, and we continue to get closer and closer and closer to that 1,000 mark milestone. And you know, I have you guys to thank. You know, I'm just here running a train around this giant circle, and all the videos that I do as well with Samra and everything else. So with it, guys, thank you so much. Wing hugs to all of you. Have a good night, and I'll see you next week.